Hello everyone. So welcome to the October Developer Sync meeting. This call is governed by the CNCF Code of Conduct, which essentially boils down to be nice and respectful to everyone. And with that, I would like to start off with the meeting. Let me share my screen. Yes. So I think the first thing on the agenda is the news and the announcement. So we have Docker 26 in beta, and we would probably do a stable release next month, beginning of next month. And so if we would really like you all folks to test it thoroughly, the beta images, and if you face any issues, please create the issues in our bug tracker, and we will try to resolve them as soon as possible. Cool. With that, the monthly contributions. Do you want to take this, Thilo?
Yeah, nothing quite out of the ordinary in this month. We have a single first-time contributor who kept our K3S and RKE2 SysEx up to date and added instructions on building and testing SysEx. It's always good to see document changes. Most of us are deeply involved with Flatcar, and we're kind of operationally blind towards missing documentation. So any help with docs is always very, very appreciated. Great job. And also
Yes.
the Kubernetes versions in RKE2 and K3S were updated by the same person.
Great. I think that's mostly it from the new contributor side, and I think, yeah, let's move on to then the next part. Okay, so the roadmap view again, Thilo.
Yeah, not much change here in the overall roadmap, and the reason for that is because we are hard at work on those roadmap items. We made progress towards composable image-based operating systems, um, and I'm seconding for Matthew here. He left kind of a few notes there. He couldn't make it today, so we're currently focusing on getting SysEx support into CapZ, the Cluster API Azure provider, after having big success with the Cluster API OpenStack provider already. So we're gonna continue that work for CapZ, and it looks pretty good. Like all the tests are green. So let's hope it's gonna get merged soon.
Great. Um, yeah, the next on the agenda would be again Matthews. I guess we already have that update.
Yeah.
So on the secure boot side, we are currently so me, Chewy, and Daniel have been working on it. I'll open this issue up. This might have more updates. So yeah, so we have included the ARM into shim. It's almost ready. That's the part that James has been working on. We have also created a PR around the signing infrastructure. Actually, this also includes the ARM support work, and we are trying to get the shim review um, artifacts in place. So we already have a repo up, but we are trying to update and answer all the questions so that we can submit it for review as soon as possible. Hopefully this week, or maybe starting next week. But yeah, this is the last bullet point addresses that. Yeah, that's mostly from the secure boot side, and I think once this is done, we can look over to working on like the measure boot and the PCR policy stuff. Cool. Anything to add, Chewy, or I'm not sure if Dan is here.
Yeah, I've just been fighting with Grub today. One of Red Hat's patches breaks the fallback mechanism that we rely on. I found out which of the patches, but I'm still trying to work out exactly how it breaks and seeing if I can fix it.
Great. Cool. So the next thing would be Daniel or Tiro. Do you want to take this?
Um, Oh, yeah. Danielle's out sick. She's recovering. And not much updates on the CNCF front. We started working towards moving infrastructure that is not officially sponsored into officially sponsored CNCF projects. So most notably, that's Equinix Metal. So we're working with the CNCF on that, but we don't have anything to announce yet. There's a number of other infrastructure providers like GCP and AWS that are not sponsored and that are currently paid by a third party. Would be great to have that in the CNCF as well. And we've actually made great experience forward the CNCF, so we're going to pursue that. Other than that, I'm not sure. There's a blog post coming up. We aim to publish it soon by the end of October, but we'll make some noise when it's out.
Yeah, and one news is I guess somebody would be there at KubeCon UNA, right?
Right. Oh, the KubeCons. Yeah, I forgot. We have a booth at KubeCon North America, and we're trying to get everything lined up for KubeCon India. Right.
Yeah. So if you are around, definitely visit the booth and say a hi, or you can talk with the folks at the booth. And I guess, so at least for India, we have talks. So I'll be presenting around Flatcar. We have a tutorial also, so do drop in if you'd like to know more around Flatcar. Cool. The next thing on the agenda would be the new vendors. I'll skip this again because
Oh, but
um,
no. Matthew actually left notes.
okay.
I'm gonna channel my inner Matthew again.
Okay.
And so we have incoming support for the Proxmox provider that's been contributed by a third party by Ionos, which is a German cloud infrastructure provider. It's amazing to see that. And we've started discussing with Ionos on Slack on getting official support and everything. And so official support is actually being tracked as well. And I'm very, very happy to see that. It would be awesome to have the honor support in Flatcar.
Correct. Yeah, we have like a ongoing issue, or like there's an in progress issue that we have. I would have taken that, but yeah, thanks for that. Now going over to the maintainers work. So let's head over to the board. So we have cut out a release around 2 weeks back, and we are planning to cut out a new release next month, which would have we would be targeting a major stable because this would probably be a major stable. The reason is like we would like to have major LTS based on the stable, and this was a decision that we took during the last community meeting, and we would go with that. And again, we, as mentioned before, do test Docker, which would go into the stable. And other than that, I think Adrian, do you have anything to add, or Adrian, Krajimir, do you have anything to add that is going into the next release?
Yeah, so last time that we discussed, there was the idea not to upgrade systemd, so it shouldn't be
Yes.
part of the LTS, right? That was the
yes.
And once the new LTS comes, we will upgrade the systemd and also the kernel to the 6.12
Correct.
upcoming LTS. Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, I'm working on streamlining the upgrade for the systemd, but currently we won't add it there.
Sure, I'll remove that from this board because we decided that we'll have the Docker stuff and then we'll have the systemd after the LTS is cut out. Cool.
Yeah.
Moving on to the roadmap board. Is not the roadmap board. Tactical. Yes. So let's jump on to the in progress. So yeah. Adrian, I think you had dropped a comment in here. I think we can close this for now. We did not have any updates, or do you think we should try to find a contact as discussed in the last meeting?
Yeah, from my side, I think everything it's working as expected. Also with the addition of the Hyper-V tools, aka LIS daemons. So I think we are standing really good on the Hyper-V part currently. I think we can close it. Documents are in place. Everything is in place. Yeah.
Sure. The next thing, I think Scaleway was again something we wanted to discuss with Matthew. This infrastructure we already discussed. This also, I guess we discussed. There has been an active conversation that you did, Adrian.
Yeah, we added this and also backported to all the channels alpha beta stable, not the LTS. So I think it can be closed.
Okay. Cool. Next, I think this was the one that you were talking about, Thilo. I think the discussion happened on Slack, and the work has been going on.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Oh, and one question for Kashmir is, should I move this? This needs review for the renaming. Can I move this into long term? Or this is for
That,
QE? Okay.
yeah,
What?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
planned now.
that's a long-term thing. It's like certainly not something that will happen anytime soon. It's it's too breaking, and if we decide to move the repos, we probably could maybe even rewrite the history. So, like, it would be like those repositories were always in that place. But this is much more work, and yeah, I don't know, like if it is like super important right now. It's just nice to have, but yeah, there are probably more pressing things to do. So
Okay.
long-term thing.
Okay. I think other than that, we are mostly clean and have discussed. Nothing else to be added here. And we should probably, like, once we are a bit free, probably in the month of just before, like in the month of December, maybe we can try to schedule a bug smashing. We haven't done that in a long time, so I was like going through our no status and the need tries, so maybe we could look through our issues again.
I would like to add here one thing. We need to backport as fast as possible or as soon as possible a fix for the Linux kernel on alpha, beta, and stable. Kernel 6.6 breaks the NFS functionality, so we need that fixed as soon as possible and included in all the channels.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's the last thing in testing in review.
Sure. We have a NFS test in our test suite.
Yeah, it does not cover that situation, unfortunately.
Can we please add it?
Then we should update it.
Yeah, I will. But yeah, we need definitely to add the fix. I think it's on the last testing, in the column testing in review. You had there
At the bottom.
so on the right hand, you have the column testing and in review. The last on the right. Yeah, yeah, that one. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so basically, yeah, a user, Flatcar user found out and issued, created a bug report, and yeah, it's.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the only thing I was like wondering was like, okay, Ganesha is going to fix it eventually. So I was wondering how long we will need to carry this, like this config disabled.
Yeah, the commit that is supposed to fix the issue has landed 3 days ago, upstream. So I actually don't know, maybe 1 year, half a year.
Wow.
I don't know how much people update
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
So
I guess I'd propose filing an issue that like to revisit the decision of disabling this config like in a year or something like that. So it's there. Yeah, if you ever go through the issues, we can always go back to it and yeah, and maybe at some point revert it. So that's,
okay, I will add that.
Cool, thanks.
Okay, so let's go back to the agenda. Okay, so I think that concludes the meeting. I'll stop sharing my screen. Okay. Yeah, I think that concludes the meeting. Anything that you folks would like to add before we conclude?
I think we should make a little bit noise regarding the upcoming C Group V1, C Group V2 changes, and then Adrian actually provided a nice segue to that at the beginning of the meeting. So Docker 26 will hit stable with the next release coming early November. Everybody had, I think, a little more than 2 months to prepare. And we will introduce systemd 256 later, a short time later in alpha. Would be is that already the November alpha, or are we talking about the December alpha, Adrian?
I think it's the December alpha, so that it doesn't catch the LTS.
Yeah, so we should probably replace the Docker warning in our release notes and in the agenda that we do with a C Group V1 will be removed in 2025, because that's what the new systemd does, right? That's the implication. Anything still using C Groups V1 will basically not work with the new systemd version. It's not supported by upstream anymore, so we can't really support it ourselves. So it's going to be removed. There was a compatibility mode where you could force Flatcar into C Groups V1. This will stop working. So if you have provisioning automation, provisions nodes with that specific option, that'll be removed. And if you have nodes in C Groups V1, we will refuse the update to C Groups V2. The update will just create an error at some point in 2025 when the whole thing hits the channel of whatever those nodes are in. Maybe we should probably add that in the starting with the November release.
Do you still use the Nebraska statistics about the Flatcar updates? Like who's
I have a rough idea on the spread. Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. So people stay up to date, at least with the LTS versions. And I think it was kind of your workaround, right, that you proposed. So the LTS 2024 that we'll be releasing probably around November, probably around December ish. Based on the next stable in November, this will still support C Groups V1.
The only thing I'm wondering, like, how many people are, for example, on the stable release? Like, what will be the uptick on update failures because of the C Group V1 not being supported anymore?
That's a good point.
I'm just curious, right? This is the thing. How many people are actually running C Group V1 still?
I can't tell because I don't know how many of the nodes have in place updated and are still on C Groups V1 for compatibility reasons. We don't have telemetry, like we're not interested in that much detail in our users, so we don't.
Yeah, I mean, we will have this information at
correct
some point, like indirectly.
Yes.
Because, there's a failure in update 1,000 nodes. Okay, so that means 1,000 nodes using C Group V1, something like that.
Hopefully, people will use alpha for testing and beta.
Definitely beta, yeah. So this for larger fleets this should be visible in beta.
Yeah. So just a curiosity thing. Hopefully it won't kill me.
Yeah, we're one of the latest distros, one of the last distros switching to V2. Everybody else has upgraded already. So we're actually doing a lot. We're going a long way for compatibility, but I mean, eventually, I think it's just.
I mean, we are Sigro V2 by default.
Yeah.
From some time already.
Correct.
But yeah, we still could use Sigro V1.
And we can't really maintain compatibility and maintainability with the recent upstreams, and we want to have everything updated so we're secure. So it's kind of a trade-off. I don't think there'll be many problems, but I think it's worth making a noise that this is coming in 2025.
Yeah, I have one question to Adrian, because we have been talking about this LD config issue that we had, and you said that the fix that I have created the PR for results in some kernel oops. Like I haven't seen the logs, but are you able to say what's going on here?
So the logs look, I mean, they look okay, but I saw some failures that reproduce related to storage. So what happens there is that the patches, the LD config fix patches, reorder some services at the early boot after the pivot. So I think what happens there is just some storage targets that are moving around badly, and it somehow, produces the storage. I think there was the SCSI and some NFS issues also. Besides that, yeah. So I don't know. We have to run more tests because, for example, just one or two tests failed, and then I rerun the GitHub action. Another 2 tests failed, but other tests. So I think we have to be a little bit careful with that change. Maybe I will also take a look because there might be other patches of reordering that have to be put, in the same.
Yeah. It seems like more units needs to be like fixed, so they get the ordering. That's correct, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I don't know which units are those, so that's something to be looked at. I don't know if this is part of system.
Yeah.
You mentioned NFS and SCSI, so.
And so the LD config is a benign issue. It's just a random error that nobody cares about. But when you get kernel panics and storage failures, that
it's we don't want to have it, right?
Yeah, and even if they don't reproduce every time, yeah.
All right, yeah.
I will take a look.
I'd be merging this pull request, but right now, yeah, I hold my horses.
Yeah, because I have never seen kernel oopses before in the GitHub action, so definitely something. And I will rerun these actions until I get a better sense of what's in it, and I'll have to also rebuild locally. And okay, I will keep in touch, but I think please don't merge it.
All right, maybe I add a comment just in the pull request that there are some oopses or something like that, so do not merge for now. Yeah. All right. Thanks for explanation.
Thank you.
Okay. So anything else that we would like to discuss here? If not, then we can close this meeting here. Thanks everyone for joining, and see you in the next office hours in November. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.